Holidays can be a stressful time for children with autism and their families, as well as for the professionals who work with them. Today, I'm going to give you some tips that might help you make your holidays a little bit less stressful and more joyful. Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Barbera, autism mom, board certified behavior analyst, best-selling author, and online course creator. Each week I provide you with some of my ideas about turning autism around. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can do that now. But holidays are filled with unusual sensory stimuli and can be a major disruption in a child's routine, causing stress for them and their families, and it can also cause stress for professionals. Maybe the holidays will involve traveling, staying over at a hotel or at a relative's home, or it may involve distant relatives staying over in your home or visiting as well. Here are some tips to make the holidays a little bit less stressful and more enjoyable. First of all, we want to assess the situation. Assess your child's skills and deficits, including his or her usual response to holidays and specific special occasions. Some children are fine with holidays, or maybe just some of the holidays are a problem and some holidays go great. Think about what part of the holidays are most stressful. The introduction of unfamiliar or less familiar people and changes in routine can often be the major factors causing stress. And every holiday may bring its own unique challenges. So, for example, if you celebrate Christmas, your child may have difficulty with furniture being moved around so that you can fit the tree in a certain spot. And they might benefit from you getting out pictures of past Christmases so you can show them where the furniture goes for the Christmas tree to fit. Or maybe your child has difficulties with the noise of the 4th of July or New Year's Eve parties, particularly because New Year's Eve celebrations are often late at night and can disrupt sleep on top of being noisy. If you're going to be traveling by car, train, or plane to celebrate a holiday, be sure to bring your child's favorite toys, books, electronics, because there's often wait times, and with traveling, you never know what you're going to face. So bringing the child's familiar things will sometimes help. We also want to prepare your child and others as much as possible. And whenever feasible, if you're having relatives stay in your home, for instance, and everybody has to switch beds and allow for the visitors to stay, whenever possible, keep your child in their own bed, in their own room if possible. And this will usually result in a lot better success than if you have your child also move locations to sleep. If traveling to someone else's home, it's best to educate family members or friends with strategies that may help reduce anxiety and problem behaviors. For example, if your child doesn't like hugs, or you may want to tell the family members that you're visiting to avoid hugging, or insisting that the child greet them in a certain way. You may also want to tell them to avoid asking questions, especially on arrival. And you may want to work with them to identify a space that can be a kind of a calm space or a calm room if the child should become overwhelmed during the visit. If a lot of support is needed, like my son Lucas is a young adult now, and he is usually in a one-to-one situation in his work environment and in home, he needs a lot of supervision. So if that's the case with your child, you may want to have a point person. That person could be a parent or an older sibling or another relative, to give that child one-to-one attention and support during the holiday. The first thing they should do is make sure the child stays safe and doesn't ruin anything. I remember one of the holidays, we were at a relative or friend's house, and Lucas got a hold of markers and wrote on a wall. I mean, that's really embarrassing. But it will happen if you don't have somebody kind of keeping an eye on the situation and making sure they don't get into things. And also, I have heard a story or two of a child, when not given enough support, actually wandered away from a holiday celebration. So you want to make sure that this point person, whoever's in charge, and that point person can rotate every couple of hours, every hour. You're like, okay, Susie, you're on Johnny, right, for the next hour. And so Susie knows that she needs to stay in the same room, keep an eye, make sure that the child is not getting overwhelmed. And also that point person can provide additional reinforcement. So I do think that that is a really good thing to implement if your child needs additional support, reinforcement, and prevention of overwhelm, and keeping them safe and keeping the house that you're at safe. If the holidays involve gifts, you may want to practice gift giving and actually unwrapping presents, because your child may not get enough practice with that in between the holidays. So you can wrap empty boxes or wrap your child's existing toys into boxes and practice the skill of opening and even thanking people for presents, waiting their turn as other people unwrap their presents. If you need this extra practice, that might be a good thing. Now, I know I've talked a lot about picky eating in past blogs, including one specifically about picky eating, but picky eating or having your child on a special diet needs advanced planning too. So you may want to bring your child's food, or make sure that whoever's hosting the holiday event will present food that your child will eat. This is not the time to be working on expanding the child's diet. They're going to have enough unusual stimuli in the environment. They should have their regular foods that you know they'll like and eat well. You know your child with autism best, so you're the best one to prepare him or her to avoid stress and overwhelm, so that you may have holiday things you want to avoid altogether, like Black Friday shopping or a New Year's Eve party. It may just be easier and more pleasant for everyone if you hire a babysitter for certain events or stay home with your child and have your own more quiet fun. Finally, I think it's always great to have realistic expectations and try to make each holiday season just a little bit better than the last one by preparing and planning. By preparing ahead, you should keep stress down so that you can have a happier holiday season. Wherever you're watching this, please leave me a comment. Let me know how your holidays are going. Give me a thumbs up and share this video with others who may benefit. And to learn more, you can go to marybarbera.com/workshops to attend a free workshop that will help you increase language and decrease problem behavior in your child or client with autism. Thanks for watching. Happy holidays, and I'll see you right here next week.